Hello everyone, Okuri here. So the new gacha just hit, and of course we are gonna be looking at the new characters, the new units and everything. And yeah, with the new event as well, we're gonna be looking at the event cards as well today. So yeah, so let's get started because I want to keep it as short as possible for you guys not waste too much time. We have new Major Dober and new Taiki Shatri. With the new support guy being Machitan and Elfado Pasa, we're gonna be taking a look at Taiki first. So let's take a look at the aptitude, right? Taiki knows for being like not much attitude that she can go, right? She can go to like turf, short and mile, maybe medium if you try hard enough, but it's not gonna be worth it for medium. It's just mile and short for turf and dirt. You can run her on dirt as well, so that's a plus. But yeah, that's about it for Taiki Chatri. But you probably want to run her leaders because of reason. You can really run her outside of leaders because of how it all works, which I will explain later. And yeah, let's just get into it. The bonuses is power 30%, which is pretty good for a lot of reasons. Like this really made her easy to build something like speed in. You don't need to focus on power at all. Just keep training speed to train the power as well. It's gonna be really good. And for guts build, you're probably gonna be taking the speed and guts and in as well. So you don't have to worry about much about powers anymore with these bonuses. So it's a really good bonus to have for my short Umas, I think. But the problem is she's a leader, and I will explain why later. So yeah, let's take a look at her ultimate. Her ultimate is kind of similar to original recap, which is like the last 200 meter. If you are at the front, and you are close to the first Uma, the first place Uma, you're gonna speed up. But the thing that's different about her is, okay, so it's a 0.35 speed, which is normal, right? But the other triggers, right, there are two conditions, right? The first condition is you are not close to the first place, right? But if you are close to the first place, not only you get a 0.35 speed, you get an immediately increase, right? So normally speed works like it does increase your speed cap, right? And you need to acceleration to the max speed cap, that the new max speed cap that you get after activating the skills, right? So it takes some time to get to the max speed, right? But if you are triggering the condition on Taiki Shatru, and this is the first Uma that have this, by the way, you have 0.35 speed, right? And you get a 0.15 speed immediately, so you don't have to acceleration that 0.15. So you are starting with immediately speed burst, which is quite okay, right? But the thing is, it's only 0.35, while original Okuri is a 0.45, which in general faster for a long time, right? If you got a whole margin of time left for the spurt in the last 200 meters, right? It's probably gonna take 5 seconds or so anyway. I don't know if this is better or worse than Okuri, but I don't think you need to roll this at all. Like this always not even good, right? It's new mechanics, which is well interesting, but I don't think it is good enough to use instead of the original Okuri ones, right? And you need to roll for her as well, so that's a waste of gem that you need to invest in her. So the thing is not worth it, right? And if you inherited this to other Umas, the value got cut quite hard. So yeah, it's not worth it when you inherit to someone. So she's the bad parents. That's another minus point for this all. She can only use this by herself, so I don't think this is gonna be really good in a lot of tracks, right? And the fact that she can run medium or long means that she's gonna struggle in the make a new track scenarios. So that's another point to note. So the overall is kind of bad, to be honest. She has this green, which is good, right? Ruler of Mine is quite okay as well. Fierce Competition is good. And My Corner and Senko Corner, which is pretty good. It's like her awakening skills are really good, to be honest, but her also kind of falls off because of the value and how to use it. I think it's an interesting mechanics that the games put in the game, but I don't think this works very well in the meta right now, especially when the meta is about acceleration and accelerating at the right time, right? This all is a copy of original Okuri that's not really translate well in today's meta, right? You better use the original Okuri cap all than this in general. But if you like her, go ahead. She is not gonna disappoint you. I think I can give her a 7 out of 10 for like the creativity and her performance and everything, but she is nowhere near the meta that we are at right now. So yeah, that's about it for Taiki Shatru. Let's take a look at the Major Dobe, which is another interesting Umas to have. Right, so her aptitude is the same as the original one, right? She has like turf, mile, medium, but she can run wrong, not without some effort. So it's you're gonna be running her on mile, medium most of the time. Most of the time you're gonna be on betweeners, not leaders, of course. Like probably gonna be between it. Okay, her bonus is speed and int. This is a little bit weird. You can run like 1 speed, 3 int, and maybe 2 powers in this bonuses stats. But yeah, you need to adjust your deck based on the bonuses you must have anyways. So yeah, I think it's kind of fine with the speed in build or even gust build is fine as well. But you're gonna be struggling with a power. No power bonus is kind of a struggle for everyone, to be honest. You need to have like 2 power guard in the deck probably. Even if you play gust, you probably want some power guards in there. Yeah, because you're gonna be struggling with 0 bonus on power. Okay, let's take a look at her ultimate. Her ultimate has a lot of condition. As you can see, if you watch my stream on Pack Alive days, you're gonna notice that this has a lot of condition. So I'm gonna slowly read the condition out to you. And yeah, of course, the details of the always gonna be on the right side if you prefer to read it yourself. If you add the middle of the pack on the later half of the race on a downhill and you are far from the goal, you're gonna get a speed up. There's four conditions on that. Like you need to be in the middle of the pack, you need to be on a downhill, and the rest gonna need to be on a later half, and you need to be far from the goal, 500 meters to be exact. It's a really tricky skills. This can be a downside and an upside, right? A downside is it doesn't proc in some of the tracks, to be honest. But the good thing is it procs at a perfectly time in some tracks because of the downhill can be controlled, right? So if you got a downhill on the later half of the race on some track, it's kind of carry over. Same concept as Christmas Ogre where you carry over the speed from the middle leg to the last leg for the spurt, right? It can be good and a bad point as well. But for Champions Meeting purpose, she is really good. But for arenas and PvP, no, not really. You're not gonna progress that much anyways. So most of the time you're gonna be running is Mine and Medium, which is good because I found a lot of tracks about this all and this kind of works really well. So yeah, so here's the ultimate sheet that I got from Twitter and some translated one that I have from the Discord that I find that someone compiled. It's gonna be listed in the screen right now. You can check it out yourself. That's about it for the ultimate. So overall, this is very good for Champions Meeting, especially some of the Champions Meeting. Alright, and this is of course she got a Tokyo race, medium straight, and this one is a random acceleration if you're behind. Right, this is very good for beginners, by the way. So if you run her on beginners on mid, always take this. It's good. This one is okay skills. This one is also a good skill. Full throttle is good skill. Even if you eat your stamina a little bit, it's a very good values because it's 0.45 if I remember correctly, but it drains a little bit of your stamina, which is not a concern in this day and age. You still need to get an extra stamina for it anyways. And yeah, overall it's a very good, pretty okay awakening skill that you have there. The only one problem I have with her is like the power status, right? The power bonus is really bad and she can run wrong, so she can use the extreme schedule. You need to run a medium and mild route instead, which is you can work around that, right? Probably not much of a problem. The main problem is going to be your power status, which is a big problem for everyone that doesn't have a good power gas, right? And yeah, that's about it for Major Dobel. I think I can give her a 9 out of 10. Like she can be good in a very some niche situation. Only some tracks can benefit her, but for a Champions Meeting player, this one is a really good investment. But she came together with Taiki Chatri, so I don't think you need to go out your way to get her if you are meta. There's always a better choice, right? Like if you're speaking about Maya, you're gonna be speaking about like runners, right? And chasers, right? If you're speaking about medium, you're gonna be speaking about Christmas Ogre, right? And runners again. Yeah, it's probably you have a lot of work around this so you don't exactly need her to be meta. And I don't think she will dominate the meta nonetheless. So you can skip her. Even if she's good, you can skip her like comfortably. No worries about that. Okay, next up is the support guards. First up we have El Conde Passage, right? El Conde Passage is a big disappointment. I will say that now. And yeah, her passive is quite good for a guard stack deck. So if you train with a lot of support guard in the training, you get a lot more training bonuses. But yeah, the thing is you don't stack them up that often. Like you need to be so lucky to get that stacked up. But yeah, the passive is good nonetheless. It's good enough for her things, but the problem is her numbers, right? The rainbow is not as high as I think it will be. One gust bonus, and gust bonus is bad on a gust guard. You know that, right? You're gonna prefer speed or power bonus for gust guard. Prefer be power, right? So gust bonus on a gust guard is quite meh. It's not okay. Yeah, the bond is okay, and the initial gust is not gonna help you at all. Less bonus 10% is good. Fan 15%. Hint level and hint everything, especially the rate of 35. Pretty average numbers, you ask me. There's nothing stand out at all. Everything about her is average, not really good. So let's take a look at her skills, right? She has a get skill for leaders, and yeah, probably all for leaders. And for the gold skills, she has Speed Star, which I don't know. You're probably gonna use Fire Motion for Speed Star anyway, so I don't think you need to use it. And Speed Star is not that good of a skill, right? Even if I recommend to get it in a lot of times, it doesn't affect as effective as you think it will be, right? It does help you, but it's not help you as much as the other gold skill that you can get, right? So yeah, that's about it for El Conopasa. Not too average, to be honest. I can give her like 6 out of 10. It's too average. Like in this day and age where you have a better Guts guard out there, better than her, you probably need to be better. She's just a standard one. You probably don't want to get it. Okay, but the thing about Magicka Tannhäuser is a little bit interesting, right? She has a bond, a passive of if your bond is at 100, she's gonna recover 5 more recoveries. She also have a 5 recovery up, so she can recover 10 energy with only 1 rainbows on her, not combining with the other in-cards, right? So if you combine with other in-card, you can go up to 15, 20, 25, and that's a very good recovery, right? Okay, but the recovery is good, right? But is it worth it? Okay, so first I will take a look at the numbers, right? The 35 rainbow is really good, by the way. This is really high for a rainbow focus card, right? Because this card is going to be focusing on rainbow to recover your energy. So this rainbow 35% is really good. Speed bonus 1, good, really good. In bonus 1 is really good as well. For an in card, right? You get a speed bonus and in bonus, that's really good one. The thing about her, she doesn't have training bonus and she doesn't have a mood bonus as well. She only have, the only thing she have is a rainbow. She's pretty late game focused because in the early game, you need to have mood bonuses and you need to have training bonuses for early game, right? Because you're not gonna rainbow that often early game. So she's gonna be focusing entirely on rainbows. Initial speed up, initial in up is good. The bond is quite okay. Response at 5%, yeah, this is a downside. You need to have 10% race bonus to survive in the Mega New Track scenarios. 5% race bonus is not gonna pass this. Maybe in the next scenarios that's coming in 2 months, but not right now. You're probably not gonna, she's not gonna be meta right now. Fan bonus 10% is quite okay. Especially red is okay as well. And the in recovery as usual. And yeah, she got her upsides, right? But she also have her downsides as always. Her skill is not really that good. She have a little bit of recovery, but there's no 777, which is one of the best recovery skill in the game. Some utility, that's not really important. This one is good though. If you don't run Yukino Bijin yourself, for the non-stop girl, this one is okay. Just a white version is fine. And about her events, I have to say that the pace up is guaranteed. You can get it, guaranteed. You 100% gonna get this. But the thing is, Gacha is a good skill. I am not gonna deny that. But again, same status as Speedstar. There are better options out there that you can use instead of this. And with the numbers of her being a little bit low in terms of like race bonus and other training except rainbows, her rainbow was too good, but she's focused too much on rainbow, right? So if you're not proxying the rainbows, and also her specialty rate is not as high as you would like for rainbow focus cards, right? So yeah, for rainbow focus card, you probably want to have around 50 to 80 specialty rate. Someone like Kisa-san Black relies on that a lot. So yeah, Magicka Tannhäuser, I can give her only like 8 out of 10. She's solid in card, but there are other options and there are her downside that you can't ignore her. Perfectly usable, but I don't think it was the investment, especially when her rate up is together with El Conopasa. If you happen to go for Magicka Tannhäuser and get El Conopasa instead, she's not gonna help you much. Because of it a dual rate up, this is a bad decision to invest in, to be honest. You might want to save for the half anniversary instead. And yeah, I'm planning to skip this banner as well. So yeah, let's take a look at the new event cards, shall we? The new event card is Lobroy, which I'm gonna be looking at here. Say no Lobroy. As I predict in the Paka Live stream, I think she's gonna be a trash card and she exactly delivers what I expected. So yeah, again, her passives are pretty classic. Like she gets training bonus when her bonds 80 or more, right? So she have her training bonuses. She don't have mood bonuses anyways. She have a high rainbows though. Stamina bonus quite okay for stamina. Initial stamina, initial gas. The bond is okay, but rest bonus is 5% only. Again, less bonus 5%. Not gonna survive the news. They make a new track scenarios. Fan bonus 10%, hints and everything. Pretty red, pretty average. Everything is average. Nothing stand out too much. Her skill focusing on medium, so she's good for medium. But the thing is, stamina card is not that good right now. It's not in a good spot. you don't need that much stamina anyway when you can just train powers and get stamina in the meantime. And stamina only relevant on long distances really in this day and age. So if you're not running long, and her skill focus on medium, by the way, if you're not running long, you're not gonna be running that much of stamina skills, and her skills are trash. Vision skill not really doing much. Even if they reworked the vision and lane swapping a little bit, the lane swapping got better, but the vision's kind of still at a weird spot right now. It's not meta. It's obvious it's not meta. So yeah, skills quite bad, I think. You really don't have to get her. There's nothing about her that stand out for me. So 6 out of 10. Again, average card, not really good, but you will still get her to max anyway because the gems and these rainbows are really good. So yeah, be sure to do your events. And yeah, that's about it for this video. If there are any questions, drop it down below in the comments. If you like the video, press like, subscribe if you haven't done it yet, and I will see you in the next video. Goodbye.